Om Swastiastu. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam nama budaya. Shalom. I am Gede Saputra with the last three-digit number of name as 01A as the group leader of SGD B1. In this occasion, me and my friend would like to show you about the student project that we have been working on recently regarding the topic of how medical students should adapt to the era of ubiquitous information. Well, because our time is very limited, let's just jump right into our presentation. So our presentation took the title of How Medical Students Adapt to the Era of Ubiquitous Information. This is our group member. If you want to see the detailed information, you can just pause the video right here. Moving on, to simplify our presentation, we divide this presentation into 3 chapters, each with their own information. In the first chapter, we will discuss on this topic's background, problem formulations, objectives, and benefits. First and foremost, I would like to tell you about why we choose this topic and why this topic is a very important topic, especially for us medical students. Well, as time goes by, technology begins to develop rapidly. Every single aspect of life always involves technology, either a minor or a significant part of life, including the medical field. In the current age of digitalization, the transformation of medical data, both patient and academic data, from a paper-based data into a more accessible digital form keep on happening. As 2019, 80% of patient care are being documented electronically. Because of this, technology literacy become more important than ever. With the digitalization of every field of information, either economy, politics, academic, and many more, someone with technology literacy will always have an easier time understanding and absorbing all kinds of new technology coming our way. But this insane development of information technology doesn't only bring good news to the community. It also raises some problems and even a threat, especially for us medical students who starts to depend on internet and digital media as their main source of information. Such problems like hoax and information overload can be a really harmful situation for medical students. That is why it is important to adapt and overcome such problems to prevent any other consequences. Well, how can we adapt to this situation then? You will find the answer along our presentation, so make sure to pay close attention to our presentation.
Thank you for the opportunity. Let me introduce myself. My name is Adjani Sayidina Pakpahan with the last 3 digits of name 031. Today, I will explain about the problem formulation, objectives, and the benefits from our presentation. The problem formulations are: how do medical students traditionally learn? What is the definition of ubiquitous information? How do digital technologies transformation affects the development of medical information? What is the impact of ubiquitous information on medical education? And lastly, how do medical students adapt to the widespread information era? The objectives of this presentation is to first explain the learning process of medical students, to describe the definition of ubiquitous information, to explain how digital and technological transformation affects the development of medical information, to illustrate the impact of ubiquitous information on medical students, and to explain how medical students adapt in the widespread information era. The benefits is to first show insight into how medical education works, show concept about ubiquitous information, help medical students to know the best method to adapt in an era of ubiquitous information, indicate outlook about digital transformation, and to be useful for undergraduate students who wants to learn about Studium General and Humaniora. That is all from me. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the opportunity. First, let me introduce myself. My name is Danissa Dita with 3 last digits, student identification number 005. Today, I'll explain the difference between medical student at the 20th century era versus at the 21st century era. At the 20th century era, traditional medical education systems are widely adopted. So, at that time, medical education systems are composed by study courses that focus on academical aspect, and there is also medical specialty training in residency that focus on practical aspect by observing experienced practitioner. At that time, medical student only can absorb what the lecturer said. Coming to the 21st century era, this kind of method showing some problems like lacking engagement between student and the lecturers. So Sir William Osler create some new method called a patient-centered approach. With this method, the lecturers can watch, show, and assess students while examining the patient. Other modern medical education system are problem-based learning, team-based learning, and flipped classroom. Researchers also find some keys for the future medical education system, like lead medical student to become a doctor that care the patient, that become more humanistic, and also respect diversity. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Khadra Kamila with the last 3-digit numbers 009. I would like to continue the presentation about medical education. Medical education in Indonesia is divided into 3 stages, such as undergraduate medical education, professional medical education, and continuing medical education. Medical education institutions instill the value of independence in student learning because it is one of the essential competencies that must be possessed by a doctor. One of the reasons that support continuing medical education is the ability to carry out self-regulated learning. In improving self-regulated learning, the use of student-centered learning methods is also increased for students. Student-centered learning encourages students to play an active role in the learning process, develop communication skill, and much more. After finishing medical education and residency training, a physician must maintain a professional growth throughout their careers. Physicians can do several ways to maintain their professional growth, such as learning from their experience, participating in educational events, and completing higher formal medical education. These experiences help physicians maintain board certification, stay competent to practice medicine, teach the next generation, and provide the best quality of healthcare to the patients and communities by reinforcing and updating the content by learned in medical school and residency training. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you for the time. My name is Nyoman Gede Sujana with the last 3 digits of NIM number 011. Today I would like to tell you about ubiquitous information. Nowadays, traditional media is rapidly being replaced by digital media, that called the second information revolution. In some cases, this is just another way to spread text, pictures, and information across the globe. In other cases, it's a completely different and revolutionized way of doing aspects of life. First of all, the thread of Web 2.0 allows anyone to give and post their content, and as a result, the natures and amount of information posted have increased significantly. Now, many aspects of their lives are recorded to the world in real time and in detail, including their location, activity data, their psychological parameters, their interests, ideas, even their social economic activities. The ease of use of digital tools is partly due to the scalability and adaptability of digital technology. Digital technologies bring connectivity to every moment of people's life. It makes access to information easier and closer than ever. Search engines and other online services on the web continue to automatically process, adapt, and analyze, resulting in exponential and continuous growth in performance and functionality. Ranges, centralizations, and concentrations of data into highly scalable and easy accessible infrastructures. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity. My name is Isyundra Librawan with the real name digit is 0 to 9. I want to present the digital transformation of medical information. First is the development of web-based learning. As we know that the transition to medical web-based learning has also been developing rapidly. The emergence of more flexible technologies such as Zoom and WebEx meeting provide students with live lectures and record the meetings. Also, preclinical students can use Google Doc and Microsoft Word for team-based learning process. These technologies can facilitate solving and participate together to complete reports related to medical cases. Second is the transformation of medical information. The increasing use of information technology by health profession aims to enable health profession to perform their duties more effectively. First is a primarily digital medical system characterized by electronic health records. The second is the knowledge cloud, which is embedded in the practice environment and used by healthcare providers and consumers. The next 10 years will also see essential elements of a trusted learning health system, enabling the health system to learn and improve continually. Next topic will be continued by my friend.
Thank you for the opportunity that has been given to me. My name is Putu Bintang Pradita Kirana with 3 last digit in name are 033. So now I will explaining about development of HIT. So information processing in medicine and healthcare is introduced to health information technology or HIT or healthcare information technology or HCIT. It involves implementing computer hardware, communication system, and software to store, share, use healthcare data and information, and also make decisions. The development of IT in the health sector has been very beneficial. Some benefits of it such as enabling communication between healthcare providers, improving medication safety, tracking and reporting, and also encouraging enhanced care. Next is about transformation of educational resources. Educational resources available to medical students have expanded rapidly in the past decade. In addition to traditional resources such as lectures, textbooks, and tutorials, students increasingly use e-learning tools. The concept of blended learning that integrates e-learning and traditional learning tools has been established from this transformation. Medicine and healthcare professionals have also openly embraced the meaningful use of social media in medical education. That's all from me. The next topic will be continued by my friend.
Thank you for the opportunity. My name is Geg Mas Anantalakshmi with the last 3 digits of name number 001. Today, I will explain about the tools and advantage of ubiquitous information. Based on a survey of 1,083 Australian medical students on 2015, medical students use various resources, namely attending lectures, using downloadable question banks, using medical apps, attending small group tutorial, watching interactive online material, watching an online lecture, and reading textbook. All of these tools allow medical students to dig up more information. For example, we are able to use 3D model to learn anatomy. Students are also able to gain health-related information easily just by surveying the internet. All of this create an effective and efficient learning process. The next topic will be explained by my colleague.
My name is Putu Isyundra and I'll continue the presentation. However, the transition from traditional learning to e-learning involves many challenges. The first is the lack of skills or skill deficit. The lack of technologies using skills will lead medical students to ignorance and confusion. The second, the lack of infrastructure. Some countries, especially in low-medium income countries, cannot provide a high quality of services, limiting the students and slowing the process of adapting or doing their work. The third, the lack of communication. With the lack of communication, there's nothing can be implemented as expected. Many people found it hard to discuss in online forum. And the last, the negative attitude amongst the educators in engaging with technology is also seen as the barrier of e-learning development. Other than that, there are also some concerns about digitalizations that could impact the health system, which is directly impacting medical students. But the main concern right now is fake news or hoaxes, that fake news is a misleading information that could lead to many misunderstandings. As this brief review shows, the digital revolution provides opportunities to improve health, but also threats. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Devi Prastiti number 028 and I would like to explain about adaptation method. In this era of ubiquitous information, a medical student should be able to adapt to the invasion of social media first because social media is the source of all information. Students should be able to use it wisely so that it could give more benefit rather than meaningless information. There are 6 important aspects that need to be realized in order to adapt in this ubiquitous information era. It's called lifelong learning, which are motivate and empowering, integrate knowledge, skills and values, continuous and supportive, spans a lifetime and applied in personal life, also professional life, encompasses creativity, confidence and enjoyment, also applies to all environment, roles and circumstances. The first one, motivate and empowering. Digital media as the source of information should be motivating medical students to improve cell quality academically. The use of social media helps students to enhance mentoring relationship between teachers and students, and with that strong bond, it could help medical students to stay motivated and could empower themselves while going through learning. The second one, integrates knowledge, skills and values. One example of digital media is YouTube. It provides videos that help students in e-learning. Other than that, medical students need to know how they want to place themselves among those various videos. Students need to be able to know whether those videos could integrate with the knowledge they gain, the skills that are needed as doctor, and also their values as future doctor. Thank you.
My name is Julia Caroline and I would like to explain another adaptation method. Digital media tools establish enhanced learning chances and real-time communication outside the institution. Digital media also helps medical students to reach out to professionals to achieve and learn problem-solving skills anytime. Not to mention that digital and social media is a platform with a span of a lifetime. Medical students need to ensure optimization the currently available sources on the internet to adapt to the era of ubiquitous information. It is also important to mention that everything that has already been taught from institutions or explained by the experts should incorporate students' personal lives as a continuous and supportive essence. And based on the research in Palestine, at least 80% of medical students agree that digital technology, especially social media, has enhanced their access to information. It acts as a forum for sharing online materials, discussing basic clinical skills and cases, alternate information, and also sharing for exam preparation. To be capable of making social connections, medical students should encourage themselves to be more confident. Later, after accomplishing connection with others, students could enjoy the process of learning and be creative in using digital technology. Creativity can create positive thinking, make you stronger and more flexible, and value the process more.
Thank you for the opportunity. My name is Putu Krishna Arsawardani Putri with the last 3-digit number 027. I will continue the presentation about adaptation method. Adaptation applies to all roles, environments, and circumstances. There are numerous strategies to consolidate social media use in medical aspects, but most were used in education rather than health practice. As medical students, social media should be used as a tool that could benefit them in every role, circumstance, and environment. Another use of social media could be seen in the form of facilitating public health professionals to respond faster to disasters. From academic perspective, a medical education curriculum also requires changes to adapt to the current educational goals and strategies. One of the important competencies for medical students is the ability to access knowledge from external sources to improve their incomplete knowledge. Students must know when to search for further information and when to ask for help when their knowledge is insufficient to solve a problem when making clinical decisions. The ability to retrieve information, form good questions, and evaluate and weigh all the available evidence that they acquire from digital information are also required to adapt to this era of ubiquitous information. The skill is helpful to help medical students when faced with uncertainty or incomplete and conflicting information.
So thank you for the opportunity, but first of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Marvella, and my last 3 numbers is 007. So today I'm going to give our conclusion and suggestion about our student project. So these are our conclusions. First, traditional medical education is a system where mostly lecturers talk to a large group of students and they passively absorb information. Second, ubiquitous information is the second information revolution that repeatedly replaces traditional media. And third, the development of digital content and technology has revolutionized how medical students learn new materials and merge various resources, increasing the need for medical journal accessibility. First, some concerns about digitalization include discrimination, disinformation, and etc. First, medical students can adapt to the widespread information era by following the 5 methods that have been listed. And lastly, this is our suggestion. It is suggested that in the era of ubiquitous information, medical students should adapt to the widespread of information by enhancing themselves to digital technology and following the given methods. For tutors itself, it is suggested that those methods can be used in tutoring. That's all from me. Thank you, and the closing statement will be continued by my friend.
Well, that concludes our presentation. We hope with this information, you can become a better medical student who can adapt and overcome problems in this era of digitalization and ubiquitous information. We are very sorry if we did something that may offend you in this presentation. Thank you for your attention, and please allow me to close this presentation by Paramasanti. Om Santi 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 Om. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.